by Sports Plus. In this Sports Debate show, we welcome your thoughts. Say what you gotta say, so speak your mind, baby. I'm your host for tonight, Kyla Cortez. Joining me are Dino Lee and Juan Banal.
It's been a while, Mr. Dino. I missed you, my partner. Kyla, how are you? Wednesday?
I am good. Midweek
Hindi ka ba nabibigatan ng konti dun sa earrings mo? Grabe
I
naman
love my
how flashy they are.
Sorry, yun yung trendy for my generation right now.
Grabe naman yung my,
guys?
grabe naman yung my generation, Dino.
Talaga trending ba yan for...
Yeah.
Ano ka ba? Gen Z ka ba?
Yeah.
Pasok ka ba sa Gen Z?
Yep.
Ikaw ba? Ano ka, Dino? Ako borderline millennial. Kailangan lang may borderline tayo dun. Pasok pa tayo dun. Pasok pa.
Well, ako, I'm just happy na the Lakers are playing well.
Bro, Kyrie!
Like I said, LeBron is top 4. They're the only team with the 2 top 5 players.
That's
in
so
my
true.
opinion.
Okay, anyways.
Ay, yung kay Kyrie, yun.
Grabe, di ba? I mean, if you were Dallas, that's just like,
Yeah.
you get the losing end of the bargain and then you lose your
Out for
best
the
player.
season.
Feel ko rin na Persa kasi he was playing like 39 minutes per game during the time na wala rin si AD. So,
I mean, if you're, when it rains, it pours, di ba, for Dallas fans.
ano ba si
that's
Kyrie
the
yung
worst.
like he's out after Steve Nash and Rajon Rondo, siya yung next na favorite player ko.
He's
Since
really
last
good.
season.
Ang daming favorite ni Dino.
Hindi.
Pangilan ba yun?
Hindi, Mike Bibby, Steve Nash, Rajon Rondo,
okay.
and then Kyrie Irving. Those are my guys.
Okay, anyway guys, but for tonight,
Wala
wala
tayo.
muna tayong NBA.
Hindi,
Local
sa
muna
dulo,
tayo.
sa dulo.
Picks
Sa
lang,
dulo
picks
pa.
lang, picks lang, picks
Okay,
lang.
but anyway, sports fans, if you're ready to elevate your sports experience, dive into the world of live sports like never before with Sports Plus. Whether you're a die-hard fan or simply love the thrill of the game, we've got you covered. So register now at sportsplus.ph. So, our hot takes for tonight. Unang-una, Northport walang balak manalo. Although may updates tayo, balita ko. Tama ba?
Lamang nga eh.
Nangyari na
Lamang,
ngayon.
nakita ko, lamang ng 9 points yung
Lumalama.
Northport eh.
Okay, we'll talk about that later on. Pangalawa namang hot take natin, LA Tenorio, sure ball sa PBA 50 greatest? And para naman maiba, no? Mga sikat na love teams sa PBA, sayang na hindi umabot sa buwan ng pag-ibig. Pero pag-usapan natin to dahil ano nga bang rason kung bakit to, napapag-usapan ngayon. And of course, our SPN expert picks. So, our first hot take. Northport, walang balak manalo. So, before natin i-mention ulit yung nabalitaan mo kanina, no? During their past few games, ano nga ba talaga ang nangyayari sa Northport?
Well, they're the number 1 seed coming into the playoffs for this conference, no? Na I think first time nangyari na number 1 seed tong Northport. And then they won their matchup against Magnolia, which was the 8th seed, twice to beat sila. Tinalo nila ng 1 game. And they're matched up with the number 4 seed, which is the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings. Na tinalo yung Meralco Bolts during their quarterfinals matchup. I think it was a best of 3 series. So, right now, they're winless. Actually, ako na-surprise ako na winless sila. De, joke lang. As in, I saw this coming from, like, I guess, not just from a mile away, but siguro, bago pa nagsimula itong conference, kung nag-number 1 seed yung siguro naman, hindi lang naman ako yung obvious na ganito yung nangyayari sa Northport. Okay. They lost game 1 by 22 points, game 2 by 13 points, and then game 3 by 27 points. So, obviously, may kita mo dito yung depth and experience ng Ginebra with sobrang loaded ng lineup and yung coaching experience of a Coach Tincon over a Coach Bonitan. And let's not pretend na this Northport is one of the 3 teams that is alleged to be a farm team. And if you were to look at history of this team, hindi siya, they're not in the PBA to compete for championships. Pwedeng pag naglalaro tayo, yung played in pickup games, I've played in pickup games. Ito yung pangbuo na lang ng 10. So that's how I see them as a franchise. Pangbuo na lang sila para masabi na okay, we have 12 teams in the PBA. There's additional slots for players, but they're not the team that's gonna win championships in the PBA. And if you look at history, they've traded away a couple of players na maybe you guys are familiar with. Japet Aguilar traded to Ginebra, Stanley Priegel traded to Ginebra, Terence Romeo traded to TNT, Jamie Malonzo traded to Ginebra, who's playing well for Ginebra right now, just coming back from an injury. Robert Bolick traded to NLEX, Don Troliano traded to SMB, Xavier Lucero traded to Magnolia.
Si Stan ka pa.
Ano?
Si Stan.
May Christian Stanhinger ka pa. Tapos, Dave Ildefonso, who you drafted, is not willing to sign in your franchise. So that speaks a lot about what kind of franchise they are. Now, I think for me, what's disappointing, just looking at the highlights, you know, as much as we love Filipino basketball, mataas talaga yung tolerance natin for this brand of basketball na nagtataka ko ba't ang dami pa rin nanonood. Obviously, it's because of Ginebra. Pero if you're a real sports fan or a real basketball fan, you're not gonna watch the PBA. That's basically
So,
it.
Dino, you mentioned a while ago, correct me so it's a big deal na nakapasok sa semifinals ang Northport. Tama ba?
I mean, yes, it was surprising. It caught a lot of people. I mean, obviously, for me, it was surprising. But we all know it's not gonna last. Iba yung playoffs eh. Iba yung, and obviously, they have ties with certain teams that might affect, which has been, yun naman yung binabanggit na ng mga fans for the longest time, that they have ties with certain teams that kind of questions how they're performing in the playoffs. So, you can't deny that because of the players that they've given away for the past couple of years since they've bought the franchise from Coca-Cola. So to me, that's the reason, one of the reasons why people don't watch the PBA anymore, unless Ginebra is playing.
And you?
Yeah, I mean, well, Dino said everything because it's again a matter of fact, right? Parang these are all obviously assumptions. These are allegations that everybody's talking about, but there's no hard evidence or proof. But if we take it for what it is, the truth be told, and I agree with Dino that hindi kasi, parang sobrang wild card kasi ng Northport eh. Di ba? Even the fact na nasa semifinal sila, parang wild card talaga eh. Maintindihan mo pa yung rain or shine, maintindihan mo yung converge, yung mga independent teams nga, ika nga, di ba? Maiintindihan mo pa kung bakit potential sila na malagay sa semifinals or sa playoffs. Kasi nga, they're their own selves, they have their own system and all of that, right? Northport on the other hand, it's quite a wild card, right? Like it's like a joker, di ba? You can use it for all intensive purposes when you're playing cards, right? So parang ganun si Northport, and even the way they run their team, di ba? The way that even si Arvin Tolentino rose to stardom in this conference and for the past conference is really the way how Northport is using him, di ba? He gets free reign kung paano niya lalaruin yung bola, kung paano siya gagawa, paano siya pupuntos. A lot of it is dependent on the fact that he is highly skilled, which complemented, again, the system of Northport, kinomplement yung skill level ni Arvin Tolentino because he is a known scorer. Now, that is enough to get you over the hump, right? But not all the way to the championship, because when you start playing against teams like Ginebra, TNT, Meralco, Pure Foods, San Miguel, Rain or Shine, that has been a perennial, or at least they've been through this a lot, experience-wise, talent-wise, coaching-wise. They know when to step on the gas, di ba? They know when to turn on the jets. Alam nila kung kailan sila pupukpok, kailan sila aatras ng konti, kailan sila pipacing. Alam nila lahat yan. Alam nila yung adjustments. They've played so many series already that they know how to get the job done. Right? And then here you have a dark horse, you have an X Factor, you have a wild card in Northport who's probably now realizing that yung mga nakakalusot natin ginagawa dati sa pa-isa-isang game, pa-dalawa-dalawang game against a team, hindi nalulusot sa series. Hindi napapalagyan. Pag na-scout ka na, 'di ba? Tapos alam na yung mga baraha mo, anong adjustment mo? Kung dependent ka dati sa mga isolation plays, hindi napapalagyan sa isang sobrang organized na lineup na katulad ng Ginebra. Sobrang experienced na coach na Tim Cone, 'di ba? So, ganun siya. It is what it is. The numbers are not lying, obviously. It's just, they're getting outcoached, they're getting outplayed at this point, understandably so, because no one really anticipated that they would be in this position, and yet they are. And nadala sila sa position na to because of, again, the way they're playing. Medyo hindi mo matansya di ba? Ang hirap. I mean, if you're playing sport, pag may kalaban ka na kangkarot, alam mo, yun yung parang, hindi normal yung galawan na itong tao na to. Pag hindi normal, hindi mo mabantayan, hindi mo alam kung anong gagawin mo, anong play ba dito. Kasi wild card di ba? Parang ganun yung Northport di ba? Hindi mo matansya. Pero, eventually, you can only play that card for so long. When the big boys come in with how organized they are, with all the experience, with the firepower, hindi na uubra yung mga ganun. Lalo na sa isang series. Diba? Game of adjustments ang series And so far, obviously, Northport has not done that.
So you guys are saying it's as plain and simple that they're just better teams out there than Northport.
Well, if you look at on paper, mas malakas talaga yung Ginebra. But the reason why Northport is in the position as the #1 seed is because of dahil ang ganda ng nilaro ni Arvin Tolentino this conference that allowed them to be a #1 seed. Pero make no mistake, when you compare the lineup of Northport with Ginebra, sobrang lakas ng Ginebra. Naglalaro na si Jeremiah Gray. Tapos bumalik na rin si Jamie Malonzo, which two players that they didn't have when they went up against TNT nung PBA Governor's Cup. Then, in existing, wala pa nga dyan sino yung sa Ateneo, yung player ng Ateneo? Yung center, yung tumitira sa...
Si Isaac Go.
Wala pang Isaac Go yan. Diba? Apart from Stephen Holt, Aham Nisi, Scotty Thompson.
All-star lineup, in other words.
Sobrang all-star lineup niyan. So to me, this is an easy pick na you would easily go for Ginebra, and I see a rematch between Ginebra and TNT moving forward. So,
no, but it's tough for TNT also. They lost Jason Castro to an
mabigat
injury.
na
So parang your hope kung ikaw TNT, di ba, sana pagurin man lang ng Northport itong Ginebra bago nating harapin, di ba? But Rain or Shine is also, di ba, parang you gotta give props to how Rain or Shine is fighting as well.
Nokum. For me, Nokum has been a difference maker for that. Grabe, no? Dinaiban niya si RHJ. Usually, pag import yan, aatras ka na
Pero yun ang tatak Yengyaw
tatak yung fearless, di ba?
Okay, I think it's time to move on to our second hot take. Ngayon naman pag-usapan natin, LA Tenorio, sure ball sa PBA 50 greatest. So what do you guys think? What are the criteria? What's the criteria ba to be named or to be part of that?
Can I just say, that's the question everyone is asking, Kyla, because that is a big question mark to everyone. Ano nga ba po ang criteria? Kasi hindi naman po siya published, di ba? Parang it's not divulged. Nobody knows what the criteria is, what's the selection process, what are we looking for. So everyone, it's all a guessing game for the audience, di ba? As to, paano nga ba namimili? Kasi kung opinion ko lang tatanungin, dapat ganyan. Pero mas madali sanang ma-eliminate yung mga ganyang hulaan kung very clear yung criteria, which I think hindi pa really napapublish for everyone's consumption.
They published the 10-man committee na part si Atoy Ko, player sa Atoy Ko, Alan Kay-Dick, and then si Ramon Fernandez. Then you have former Commissioner Sonny Barrios. Then
you kind of want to know the process, di ba? What happens inside the room, where it all happens.
Sa nabasa ko sa Spin, hindi nila idadivulge yung selection process. Parang ang lalabas na lang nila yung 10, di ba kasi may 40 na ngayon 25, then nag-40 sila, and then ngayon ilalabas nila yung 10. Pero nakita ko nung ginugel ko, ang 4 criterias before was at least 4 full seasons. Number 2 is a recipient of a major award. Number 3, major impact within the sports and the league. Number 4, contributed to positive development of basketball. So kung yun yung basis na gagamitin nila, malamang may consideration talaga for LA Tenorio.
So with that criteria sa list
Yung
na
dati.
yun, dati. So
Nakita
tingin
ko,
mo naman yung mga nasa list na yan, pasok naman dun sa criteria, tama ba sa tingin mo?
For me, yes. Especially what he has done over the course of his career. being drafted, I think, by San Miguel and then moving to Alaska with Coach Tim and then to Ginebra with Coach Tim with the number of championships. I think it's a no-brainer na LA can be part of the but obviously Junmar Fajardo is gonna be there
Scottie
kasi
Thompson also
if
is
you put
being mentioned.
if you put Tenorio in, obviously dapat mauuna muna sila
And again, if you take a look at the career of LA, it parang he would even argue that he could be one of the best point guards that the league has ever had, diba? And his impact is on the court and off the court. And when we say even off the court, that's even talking about the impact that he had on Gilas, diba? So that's not even counting that, right? But he's already definitely won awards. Ako, for me, ang laking bagay nung Iron Man, to be honest.
700 plus.
The straight number of games, he surpassed the captain, obviously, si Alvin Patrimonio for that status, diba? For that recognition and title. But then, what's even more amazing for LA is the fact that he overcame and won another battle outside the court, which was his cancer battle, diba? And he came back, and now he even had that, the comeback player of the year. I think they created that award just specifically for him because nobody else deserves it than LA Tenorio, right? The fact, who does that? Who gets cancer and then comes back, di ba? A lot of people get cancer, they get remission, and then they quit.
Yeah.
But not this guy. Parang he said, kung hindi lang ako nagka-cancer, dapat tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung number of games that he played. And I think it could have ended there. His streak said, okay, tapos na yung streak mo. But then he said, okay, I've done it. I've surpassed the number of straight playing years in games that I played. But then he comes back and he's trying to set another record of the fact that he came back after cancer is just, like, guys, hindi to ACL, hindi to torn Achilles. Cancer po ang in-overcome ng LA Tenorio. And yet he's back. Right? And yet he's there. And yet he's not just somebody sitting on the sidelines. He's actively participating. He's actively contributing on and off the court. Now he's the head coach of the Batang Gilas, which is now he has an opportunity to pass on whatever he has to the next generation. Talk about impact outside the court, right? So, again, if yung apat na criteria na sinasabi ni Dino, pasok talaga to, walang kaduda-duda. But like what Dino said, meron din mga tao na pinag-uusapan. Kaya siya controversial tong top 50 na to. Kasi merong mga players na sinasabi na dapat kasama dun sa 40 pa lang. And so dito sa next 10, inaabangan na to ng mga tao na sinasabi nila, dapat sa next 10, kasama na yan kasi hindi nyo sinama sa 40.
Yeah.
Diba? And now we're talking about guys that are still active. Kaya parang sinasabi ng mga tao na yung mga active, dadating naman sila dyan eh. Iurong lang natin ng konti. Unahin muna natin yung mga inactive na deserving din na malagay dyan sa top 50. And that's where the debate is coming from. Doon nagtatalo-talo yung mga tao ngayon.
Pero ang problema, may precedent ka na eh. Like, when they selected the next 15 after the 25 to make it the 40 greatest, maraming active players doon like Jason Castro, Kelly Williams. So, that was back in 2015. Now, just to add to what I said in the last episode with regards to the PBA 50 greatest, I would put more consideration to the past players kasi ngayon the PBA is being dominated by just a couple of teams. Unlike before, I guess wala tayo yung mga sister teams as much as we do right now. So, yung certain accolades and championships, iba yung prior to
context
iba yung prior to the 21st century to the 21st century. Ako parang just to be honest as a basketball fan, I don't really care about the PBA 50 greatest kasi yung basis mo iba yung konteksto ng dati, iba yung konteksto ngayon eh.
Yeah. And but I guess siguro Dino, it's really pointing out, especially kasi this is PBA's 50 greatest, di ba? Pag kumbaga, hindi naman siya Kyla's 50 greatest or SPNation's 50 greatest. Kumbaga, they're saying that, I think the major consideration here is, who are the top 50 players that shape this league to where it is today, di ba? Because it's their organization, it's what it is today because of these former players. Ako lang kasi, parang pinag-usapan natin yung pag-retire ni jersey ni Iguodala, di ba? Parang masasabihin ng iba, Iguodala, ihahang mo yung jersey, parang hindi niya naman kapantay yung the likes of Steph Curry or Klay Thompson.
Pero for
or
the
Draymond.
franchise.
But for the franchise, it matters. Pangalawa, that's why they haven't hung the jerseys of Steph Curry because they're not done yet.
Yeah.
There's still more to be accomplished. And that's why I feel like dapat yung mga active players, hindi mo pa ilalagay dun sa top player, top 50 greatest or top 60 eventually. Kasi meron pa yan pwedeng maiambag. Diba? And when you already acknowledge their contribution as early as now, that already parang it goes without saying na, kung ano man yung gagawin niya after, hindi na natin muna papansinin yun kasi ito lang di ba? Ito na muna yung pinapansin natin. So, that's why ako, give them an opportunity to retire with honor, finish their career, before you include them, kasi pwede pa silang madaming iambag. Diba? Kasi yung mga dating hindi na nandito, na naglalaro, sila tapos na yung contribution nila, pwede mo na silang i-judge based on what they have finished. Right? And done. And so that's why they have every right to be first included and considered in that list. Kasi if you start including active players, parang tinaningan mo na yung pwede pa nilang i-contribute Parang tinapos mo na, which pwede pang madami yun, di ba? So yun lang yung contention ko if you're gonna induct active players.
Pero baka naman enough na yung accolades.
True naman.
Yeah, exactly.
True naman.
And it's just that the end. Ako kasi parang tingin ko yung ginagawa ng PBA somewhat they try to mirror or mimic what the NBA is doing. And when you look at the NBA 75 when they
may
made
active
that,
kasi.
Marami nang active na dun like Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Dame Lillard. So I do think they would already include active players for this one. I don't see it like hindi sila pipili ng inactive players for kumbaga it's exclusive for players that are already retired. So
Tsaka kasi compared to the NBA, mas manipis naman yung roster ng PBA sa
players.
NBA, di ba? So, parang mabibitin ka din kung puro inactive players lang ang baka may mapilitan ka pang i-induct kasi wala ka na kasi mapiling iba dahil active pa yung mga magagaling, di ba?
sa tagal din ni LA na naglaro, medyo na-deflate yung stats niya, no?
Well, ako nga, parang he's done He's done what he has to do. Parang the other things are really a bonus for me. Everything else that he's doing, his presence in Ginebra, it's really just a bonus. The fact that he's back is a big deal for me. The fact that he won and was victorious over cancer, that's a statement to every single athlete out there. Kung ikaw na demoralize ka dahil sa ACL, sa whatever injury, yung LA Tenorio po, tinalo yung cancer at bumalik. So, what's your excuse? Diba?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin to, kakaibang conversation, no? So, as we hear some rumors about Kaylan Tiongson and Bini Aya, Archeta, they are dating daw. But of course, we can't help but look back at the most popular love teams sa PBA.
Papalit na ba tayo ng mga dito? Dabod! Ganyan na ba tayo? Parang biglang nag-shift Biglang from very analytical tayo dito ngayon. Medyo love team ang pag-uusapan natin
Yun ang rason kung bakit natin to pag-uusapan, no? Sige nga, sa inyo, as fans and been there sa basketball industry sa Pilipinas, so I'm sure alam nyo rin naman yung mga gantong usapan. Meron ba kayong makakwentong stories? Meron ba kayong insider scoop dyan?
Yeah. I think this is nothing new. I mean, it happens naman when two popular people from the sports world and one player that is popular in the sports world and then one person that is popular in the world of showbiz come together. I think this is nothing new given the list, no? Ang dami nun over the years, over the decades. To me, I think this is the reason why we're having this conversation is because the other day, after their Game 3 victory over the Talk and Text Tropang Texters, si Kaylan Tiongson, tinanong siya ng interview of his relationship with Bini Aya.
Yeah.
Which is right now
sobrang bilib na ako sa'yo to begin with
Bakit?
Kasi sobrang nerd ka when it comes to pag ito sobrang na-research mo ba,
Hindi.
bound na ako sa'yo,
Hindi.
Dino. Pag ito may mga data ka pa at stats ka pa dito, ewan ko na, Dino. Sobrang bilib
Kung
na
gaano
ako sa'yo.
katagal, no?
Wala
Hindi,
na.
okay.
Alis na tayo si Dino na lahat.
Hindi, kasi nakita ko lang, in-interview lang
Okay,
siya,
yeah.
and sinabi niya, he will not speak about, the personal life of Bini Aya. And I share the same sentiments. Now, when it comes to this, ako, I just hear about it or I just read about it. Pero I share the same sentiments with Kaylan Tiongson. Whatever relationship these popular people have between each other, I respect that and I don't want to pry in kung may problema bang mangyari or breakups. That's something that I really avoid. Like sports, I would like really speak about it, pero when it comes to people's personal relationships or personal life, I don't really like talking about it. But when it comes to, you know, players having that relationship with certain popular people, I have 3 in mind right now. Number 1 is Gwen Zamora. Hindi, Gwen Zamora. Hindi, ang dami naman yun eh. Pero sa akin kasi, ito yung mga crush ko kasi.
Okay.
Gwen Zamora.
So may galit si Dino, may hit list siya itong mga players.
Inigawan ako.
Oo, ganun yun. Ganun ako.
May hit list
Parang,
si Dino.
parang hindi ko na siya nagiging crush pag nagkakaroon siya ng relationship or pinapakasalan niya.
Kasalanan pa nila na nag-boyfriend sila ng basketball
to me,
player, Dino.
Gwen Zamora, Ginger Conejero, and Jenny Hernandez. Yan ang big three ko.
Yan.
Na nagka-relationship with a PBA player. I think si Jenny with Eugene Tejada. Then after si Ginger, I think with Alex Cabagnot, and then Gwen Zamora with... Hindi, alam ko kasi... Hindi, alam ko kasi crush ko sila eh. So...
Fan kasi.
And I think this was the time that I was still, I guess, you know, watching a lot of PBA games. Na unlike ngayon, medyo, alam mo tayo yun, parang...
Ito tanong ko sa iyo, Dino. Sa inyong dalawa na lang. Tanong ko sa inyong dalawa to. Lagyan natin yung parang kunwari meron tayong, nakakatapos na ng Oscars, di ba? So, awardan din natin yung mga couples. So,
Best
kunwari,
couple?
Hindi, sabihin natin, start natin. Sino sa tingin mo yung pinaka-lodi na couple? Yan muna.
Lodi?
Lodi yung parang talagang, magandang
No, ito.
yan.
Goals.
Ito.
Goals.
Yeah, sila.
Don Kramer,
I agree.
Garcia, okay.
Parang mas gumanda.
Sila ba ultimate?
Sa akin, di ba yung Dog Kramer's career wasn't as, you know, as solid as
Talaga, yeah.
what happened after his PBA career. Di ba? Naging parang influencer na siya with his wife, Cheska Garcia. So, I think they're one of the
Kato goals to, di ba? Family
couple.
man, di ba? Godly.
Ganda pa ng asawa mo,
di ba? Yung mga anak nila, ang gagaling lahat, di ba? So, yan para sa'yo, Dino, ang goals mo?
Pwede
Bro, ang
makita yung-
haba ng listahan
Pwede
natin.
makita yung listahan.
Scan mo muna.
Pwede makita yung listahan.
Okay, can we flash or list?
Yung listahan.
O, di ba? Napaganda
Ayan na,
yung
ayan
segment natin. Boy abunda tayo.
Ako solid din yung Mikey Kawago eh.
Yeah, actually, yes.
True.
She's a member of the IOC. Parang part siya ng IOC.
Sila talaga yung
Ang ganda rin ni
swak
ganda rin ni Mikey eh.
So, sino ang GOAT mo? Goals pagdating sa couple?
Ako, I would go with Dog Kramer. I mean, ngayon, di pa malaki masyado yung anak nila. Pero right now, I would say solid yung Dog Kramer, Cheska Garcia.
Yeah.
Maganda yan.
Honestly, yeah.
Tsaka di ba? You have a couple. Kasi pag tinignan mo yung listahan, half siya eh. Hati, di ba? Yung mga tumagal at yung mga hindi tumagal, di ba? So, syempre, ang madaling i-goals dyan.
Ikaw ba?
Tumagal.
Sino goals mo?
Wala, may mga kaibigan ako, so hindi ako pwede mamili. Puro kaibigan ko nandito sa listahan, di ba? So, parang hindi ko pwede sabihin yan. Pero siguro, ito na lang. Lodi ko na lang yung Padim Israel tsaka Rio Locsin. So, si Padim Israel is a good friend of my dad. They were teammates in Great Taste. They won a championship together. He's currently a pastor in a church. So, I just met him 3 Sundays ago.
Kasali ba sila pa ni Rio Locsin?
Sila!
Sila pa rin
Sila, bro. Talagang
Solid.
nakakatuwa sila. So, syempre, I can speak for that. But the rest kasi, like, my friends, so, these guys are my friends, so I don't want to say anything. Both nagkatuluyan at hindi nagkatuluyan.
Tapos ako may best, sino yung flop?
Hindi, sabihin ko na lang, sino yung, controversial. Oo.
Ayun, nasa dulo.
Sino mga controversial dyan?
Iba
sa
yung
tingin nyo?
Alex Crisano at saka Ethel
Ethel Bubay, iba rin yan. Di ba? May Rudy Hatfield pa rin dapat eh. Di ba? Si Rudy Hatfield.
Sige nga,
sino ba?
enlighten me guys. Kasi syempre
Si Rudy
medyo...
Hatfield ba nandito? Wala eh. No? Sino bang artista rin yung kay Rudy Hatfield? Meron?
Sino ba kay Rudy Hatfield?
Si Rufa May.
Si Rufa May.
Si Rufa May.
Di ba okay naman yun?
It's okay sila.
Like, Rufa May is fun.
Yeah.
The personality
Si Rudy
of
din
Rudy,
naman.
is fun. So, I think it's
Medyo madami kasi yung listahan na kilala ko, so mahirap magsalita eh, di ba? Siyempre, may Mark Pingris at Danica Soto ka rin. Nandiyan, JC Intalbianca Gonzalez, lahat na tumatagal eh, di ba? Anthony Semerad and Sam Pinto, Rich Alvarez and Kyla, ito yung mga
I think
existing eh.
Yung
di ba?
medyo naging controversial was the Andrea Brillantes saka Richie.
Kasi naman si Richie din nung in-announce niya, sa barker niya din, di ba? So
sa
pinag-usapan
UAP
din.
pa ata siya nun
I think,
diba?
sa UP pa siya nun.
Parang last year niya ata yun sa
Tsaka
UAP.
syempre ito yung naalala ng mga si Kyla. Feeling ko si Kyla, ito ang alam ni Kyla, di ba? Yung iba hindi niya nakilala, hindi niya
Uy,
panahon
meron naman akong kilala dyan.
Kasi hanggang ngayon parang yung mga netizens pinag-uusapan pa rin to hanggang ngayon.
Correct.
So,
I guess it's just because big stars rin talaga sila
oh yeah.
At saka
Pero
parang-
meron ka ba dito sa listahan na hindi nyo akalain na, uy, nangyari pala yan? Meron kayo?
Ako personally, since hindi ako familiar like,
yung mga panahon,
Una talaga,
yung mga
like-
dating panahon, di ko na, yung mga Loizaga, yung mga...
Ako hindi ko alam yung
Hindi ko
Hector
alam yung
Calma at saka
Connie,
Christine Jacob.
Hindi ko rin alam yun.
Hindi,
Kasi
nagulat ako
hindi ko
doon.
nabutan eh.
Pero kasi syempre si Christine Jacob, celebrity yan.
Ganda
makita mo,
ni
diba?
Christine Jacob.
Swimmer pa yan, Olympian yata yan eh. Or basta swimmer natin, nag-represent ng Philippine team yan. And Hector Calma, pero hindi ko alam na nagkatuluyan pala sila. Yun ang hindi ko. Grabe, naging the buzz talaga tayo dito.
Pero pero I think yung powerhouse talaga, I think it was James Yap and Chris Aquino
The most controversial,
James-
I think, like
Hindi
super
eh.
famous na...
Kasi they were both at the top of their game
Correct,
when they were together.
Correct.
So, unlike for the others, parang B-lister, C-lister. Pero ito parehas A-lister sa basketball, A-lister sa
Correct.
sa showbiz di ba? So,
Yeah, I think sila yung pinaka parang recognized na couple, di ba? Like parang top of mind na
Yeah.
kahit
Oo.
sino parang pag pumunta ka ng
Yun yung alam mo
probinsya
eh.
na hindi nakakapanood ng PBA,
Alam.
James Yap.
James Yap at Chris Aquino, pwede din
James
lang
Yap.
ma-identify nila di ba? So, yeah.
okay, tama ng usapang pag-ibig. Ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin our SPN Expert Picks. So our first game, Trailblazers and Celtics. Sino picks niyo dito?
Ako obvious to, Boston Celtics to.
Yeah.
I mean, Portland is sitting at number 12, Boston is sitting at number 2. I do believe this is an easy win for Boston. My only concern is ang daming injury report nila. Jaylen Brown is questionable with an illness. Drew Holiday is doubtful with the right hand mallet finger. Kristaps Porzingis is doubtful with an illness. Peyton Pritchard is probable with the left hip flexor tightness. Jason Tatum is questionable with the right shoulder impingement. Derek White is probable with a low back contusion. So, on Portland side, tatlo yung out nila. DeAndre Ayton, Matisse Thybulle, Robert Williams III, and then Jeremy Grant is questionable with the right knee tendonitis. So, I do believe dun sa nabanggit ko sa Boston, some of them will play. And I do believe they're enough to win this game for home floor pa ng Boston, which they've struggled this year, 19-11, but I do believe they're a more capable team to easily beat Portland Trailblazers.
I see.
Same sentiments. Boston versus Portland, in the 10 times na nakita sila, last 10 times, 8 doon pinanalo ng Boston. So, again, I do agree with Dino na hindi naman lahat ng nililist nila na probable injured ay will end up being injured. I think they're trying to feel it also kung winnable ba to, kahit maglaro to, ipapahinga ba natin? Siyempre, may mga load management issues, dyan hinaing na konting sakit. So, even the players naman, they also know if parang worth playing ba tong game na to or mas ipahinga ko na lang, tapos sabihin ko na lang na masakit yung daliri ko sa paa, di ba? Para iupo sila. So, but I would have to go with Boston for this one.
Okay, and next match, Kings against Nuggets.
Nuggets, they're number 3 right now in the West behind the Los Angeles Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then the Sacramento Kings has been playing well. They're coming into this game on a 4-game winning streak. They're currently sitting at number 8. This is their 3rd meeting out of the 4 meetings that they'll have this season. The first 2 meetings have been won by Denver. The first one was in December 17, 130-129 at Sacramento.
Correct.
Then Jan 24 was the second meeting, 123 Sacramento at Denver, 132. So my only concern for this game is Nikola Jokic is questionable with the left ankle inflammation and Aaron Gordon is questionable with the left ankle sprain. Although for Sacramento, Sabonis and Domantas Sabonis is out with the left hamstring strain. Malik Monk is questionable with the right toe sprain.
Medyo they cancel each other out if these guys don't play.
Pero
In
ang
terms
ganda
of
rin
the-
ng ang ganda rin ng nilalaro talaga ng
That's why,
Sacramento.
kaya nga ako for this one, I'm going with Sacramento
Ako,
because
Denver.
ang ganda ng takbo nila ngayon. Parang for some reason, all of a sudden, everything clicked.
Yeah.
After a very frustrating run before that, biglang ngayon nag 4-1
I
sila.
think
Laking
it's
bagay.
Dog Christie din eh.
Okay.
Yung laking bagay when they fired Mike Brown, Dog Christie took over. And then finally, na-let go na I guess yung frustration ni De'Aaron Fox with the franchise, letting him go. Fresh start sila with Zach LaVine, then DeMar DeRozan, ganda rin ng nilalaro. Keegan Murray, and then they have Jonas Valanciunas playing well for them. But I do believe then, kasi ang sinasabi din, ang hirap daw maglaro sa Denver kasi because of the high altitude, malamig kasi sa Denver. So,
Yung acclimatation niya.
oh, Sacramento kasi medyo summer-ish ang vibes ng Sacramento, which is in California. So, to me, this is I'm gonna go with Denver. Hirap eh. This is...
Yeah, and
medyo
Denver is so
ano
good nga. Totoo yung sinasabi ni Dino kasi 20-9 ang record nila sa home. Ganun ka, talagang parang kang naglalaro sa ibang planeta pag pumunta ka ng Denver, di ba? Pero Sacramento also, in fairness to them, they're also doing above 500 when it comes to playing in away games. And then
Yes.
they're riding on their momentum pa na forward.
Yeah.
Ako, I really love how DeMar DeRozan just from getting frustrated when he got transferred to Sacramento to turning things around with Zach LaVine. I think it's very promising for Sacramento. I'm rooting for them for this game, and I think they're gonna win this.
Okay, and lastly, Thunders against Grizzlies.
Memphis ako dito. De, joke. Okay, I think obvious naman, no? Okay, na to. Like, Memphis hasn't been playing well. They got, the last game natalo pa sila sa Atlanta Hawks, man. How do you lose that game? Ngayon, parang from second seed, bumaba na sila to number 4 in the West. And then, OKC is coming hot. I think one of the second hottest team in the NBA.
Bro, and they're
behind Cleveland, di ba?
and their away game looks like they're home standing.
Yeah, 24/7, di ba?
24/7, bro. Who has 24/7 record na
Saka-
away? Parang pang home record din eh.
Tsaka like Alex is the only injured guy na main rotation player nila is Alex Caruso. And then for Memphis, Santi Aldama is questionable, Jaren Jackson Jr. is out, and Jamora is questionable for this game. So to me, with SGA, J-Dub, and the rest of the crew, may Chet Holmgren ka pa, good luck na lang sa Memphis.
Yeah.
Although this is their home court, pero I mean, OKC to eh. Like,
Pero home court din ng hindi rin, I mean, grabe yung away kasi ng
if it's
OKC.
LA,
Yeah.
if it's the Lakers, mag-iisip ako. Pero this is just the Memphis Grizzlies.
And again, out of their 10 meetings, pato doon pinanalo ng OKC. So, I'm going with Dino for this one. We're going with OKC. 4-1 in the last.
Saka third meeting nila of the 4 meetings this season. The first 2 meetings have been won by OKC. 130-106, 125-112. So
Okay, just to recap, both of you.
they own Memphis.
Just to recap, both of you,
Boston.
Celtics. And then for the second match, Kings,
Split kami.
Yeah.
Nuggets, and both of you are going for...
Meron kasi, para sa mga hindi nakakaalam, meron po kasi nagtatali ng mga pili
Exactly.
namin, so medyo kinakabahan
Okay.
kami kasi magpapakain yung So, alam ko,
Pero-
nag-reset eh, no? Ni-reset ba?
Ni-reset March
Every
kasi,
month
March.
siya.
So every
Maybe
month.
this is your month.
Nadala kami ni Javi dun sa Lakers, Charlotte. Saka yung Gilas,
Oh
Chinese
my-
type.
Exactly.
Pare, sino pipili
Ewan kasi-
ng Charlotte Hornets over Lakers? Di ba? Sobrang na-devastate ako nun. Saka yung Chinese type saka Gilas.
Yun ata talaga yung bilogang bola. Anyway,
Yun talaga yun.
moving on with our comments.
Sa love team ba yan?
Halata naman laro na nilalaro pa, puro pasa ang ginagawa ng Hinebra.
Anong ibig sabihin?
Halata naman laro
So si
na.
Celestino, I think it's more of parang sure naman na yung Hinebra, di ba? So
okay.
parang nilalaro na lang nila kasi for entertainment purposes, I think Celestino, ayan yung ibig sabihin mo. Pero grabe yung firepower din kasi talaga ng Hinebra.
Tapos na ata yung game eh. Check ko kaya. Ano bang result ngayon?
May latest
Kuya,
na.
pa-check naman kung anong result. Kung sweep na ba or ano. Pero, like, even if Northport wins Game 4, this, I think tatapusin na ng Ginebra.
Kasi ang strength kasi talaga naman ng Northport is their ability to score, di ba? Yung number one nga sila sa eliminations to the quarterfinals when it comes to points, di ba? Averaging points, 109.9. So around 110 points sila per game from eliminations to quarterfinals, di ba? Pero pagdating ng semis, 100 na lang ang ina-average nila, di ba? So, hindi mo kasi pwedeng, you can't fight fire with fire when it comes to Ginebra, di ba? You can't play tremendous offense against Ginebra because they will always play better offense than you. So, sabi nga nila, defense wins championships. And so, right now, I think Ginebra is doing such a good job in doing that. And they've been here before, so, but,
panalo ang Northport. 108-103.
nabuhayan pa po dahil sa mga sinabi ni Dino kanina nabuhayan, nakikinig yung Northport.
Do you think who advances to the finals?
Well, we know that.
Yeah.
Nabuhayan lang, nakikinig yata sila yung coaching staff sa atin kanina. Uy, sabi ni Dino to, di tayo
Sige
mananalo.
nga, maliin natin si Tino.
Hindi, talagang sa akin sayang ako, I still believe in the PBA. If they just change certain the setup that they have. Sayang ako, nanghinayang talaga ako sa PBA kasi it's the biggest league.
It's still the league with the best players.
But
in
right
the
now,
country.
yes. But right now, they're a stagnant league. They're being surpassed by much younger leagues across Asia. Hindi na tayo yung number one league in Asia right now. So we've had that time, we've had that moment way back. But right now, if you're gonna base it, locally talagang walang tatalo because it's backed by the biggest corporations in the country. Pero when we look at how we stack up against, mga B-League, KBL, medyo parang tinatalo na nga tayo ng tinalo na
And dyan, parang it has happened historically before and it was not, hindi lang sa basketball nangyari. We've seen din in MMA, di ba, na parang meron tayong mga local leagues, mga local tournaments, but then eventually yung mga medyo global tournaments started penetrating also our market, our audience, dahan-dahan ng kinakain. So, I think the threat is not gonna come from internal, not in our country, but the threat for PBA will come externally. And when they start approaching our shores and start hosting tournaments in our land, then that's the real threat. And it's not far from happening.
I think if there's a sign na we need to which we haven't done, take a hard look on what we're trying to do with the PBA, kung sino man yung nagpapatakbo. That defeat against Chinese Taipei, that should be like a
wake-up call.
Yeah.
I mean, ang dami na nating wake-up calls pero hindi pa rin tayo nagigising. But
Snooze.
to me, the Chinese Taipei game, we didn't lose that game. They took it from us. If you watch that game, malakas talaga. As in, pinanood ko yung buong game kasi syempre, akala ko, parang sure na yung 2-0 ko with Lakers sa pero they took it from us. Grabe yung shooting nun. And
They took it from you.
tapos ang nangyari, ang ganda ng shooting. They took it from me. Ang ganda ng shooting nila.
Bro, nanonood din yung Chinese Taipei nung panahon na yan, tapos sabi daw ni Dino, di tayo mananalo. Di na tayo mananalo. Hayop sa mga player.
Hayop yung may tattoo dun. Grabe yung may tattoo dun sa kanan. Pare, tumitira ng tris tapos tumatalikod. Grabe yun. Grabe talaga.
Okay.
And mind you,
Eto,
sorry
sige,
kaya,
go.
parang Filipino fans are capable of idolizing foreign teams. Parang I've seen that in VNL, yung volleyball
Nations
League. Yeah.
Nations League. Talagang grabe dinudumog. Yung international players ang dinudumog. Kung kaya-kaya natin mag-idolize ng K-pop na hindi naman taga dito, di ba? Kaya delikado Kaya delikado. If gumaling yung mga ibang leagues around the Philippines and they start coming to our shores, baka...
Dati nasa pa tayo, nagta-top 4 pa tayo. Ngayon, parang number 8 na tayo sa Asia. Ako, yung strength ng pro league mo, the local pro league has to be strong. So, kasi yun yung magpa-fund ng talent to the national team And if your local league isn't as strong as the other local leagues, then that's a bad sign for us. Bad sign for Philippine basketball. Kaya lagi sinasabi niyo ng mga Philippine fans, di ba? Galing niyo sa PBA, pero pagdating sa international,
Wala.
kamote, di ba?
Okay. Time to move on to our second comment. Hindi talaga pwedeng manalo ang Northport kasi nanalo na ngayon. Lilipat sa Batangas yung mga shipment na SMC teams. Si Boss Mikey nga, di pa rin nagpapakita
Okay, wala. Alam mo, si Power Mac, alam mo naman, pag nag-drop ng mga ganyan statement yan,
Ako, I like Power Mac eh.
Mic drop talaga.
Ako nabanggit ko naman na yung mga binigay nilang players eh. Like, why would you trade a Stanley Pringle during his peak, di ba? Why would you trade a Japet Aguilar? Why would you trade all of these players? And then yung kapalit mo is, you know, someone na medyo tatapusin na lang yung career. So, to me, ano yun eh, parang if alam niyo naman sa NBA, di ba, may tinatawag na term na tanking. So, they don't verbally say it that they're gonna tank, but based on their actions, they're actually gonna tinatank nila. So, that means i-shut down nila yung mga vets nila, trade away na nila yung vets nila, or they're gonna give more minutes, they're still gonna compete. But they're gonna give more minutes to the younger players, the younger developmental players, but they're eventually, alam nila matatalo sila sa mga...
Hence the concept of farm team, di ba?
Diba?
So, yeah.
Yun eh. Yun yung equation ng NBA sa PBA. The tanking teams, yun yung parang ginagawa ng farm teams eh. There's really, based on verbal, they're trying to win. But based on action, kumbaga titingnan mo lang yung action, they're not trying to win. So, I mean, I'm not the only one speaking of that fact.
There's actually this comment, I don't know if nabasa niyo din, but like yung comment kanina about the Northport, ito,
yung kay,
from X, diba? So we don't know what's happening.
Depende daw sa utos ng taas.
Yeah. Ikaw, Juan, any thoughts?
I'm good.
Okay, moving on to our third comment. Thank you, Power Mac. Pinagbigyan lang manalo ang ibang team yung mga last championship, pero matik babawi ang Hinebra.
Oh, I can tell na NSD fan talaga to. Never say die. So,
I think
CJ,
they have a better chance now winning a championship with Jason Castro.
Yun yung masakit eh.
Kasi yun yung pumatay sa kanila eh.
Yun yung masakit.
RHJ did his job, which to me, he's the best import right now in Philippine basketball. Nalagpasan na yun si Justin Brown, so medyo tumanda na. Pero yung locals, ang pumatay sa Ginebra was Jason Castro eh, in my opinion. So, I think Ginebra will win this,
Obviously, underdog pa rin yung next na papasok. Kahit sino lumaban sa Ginebra at this point kasi sa lakas ng lineup ng Ginebra,
Tsaka
parang
bumalik na si Malonzo tsaka si Jeremiah Gray, di ba? Imagine that deep. Parang 1 to 10 mo, kaya mong laruin.
Correct.
Parang pwede ng starting 5 eh.
Pwede nga national team tong Ginebra. Ang lakas.
May Troy Rosario ka pa! Lastik talaga. Ano ka mananalo dyan?
Well, thank you so much, CJ, for your comment. And thank you to everyone na nag-comment and also sa ating live. Again, to you guys, thanks for tuning in and thank you for joining me. Sports fans, if you're ready to elevate your sports experience, register now at Sports Plus PH and kindly follow us on our social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at sportsplus.ph. So thank you guys for joining. Once again, I'm Kyla Cortez, joined by Juan. Dino Juan Banal. I am sorry.
Nalito na.
Sorry.
Nalito na eh.
Thank you guys.
Nandun ka pa yata dun sa sino ba yung mga favorite couples mo.
Ang dami kasing pangalan. Ang daming pangalan. But thank you guys for tuning in.
Peace.
Bye.
There's a bunch of different things that just like put it all together. Everything has like a different meaning.